So I watched Avatar twice, right? First time it was at this random theater. The second time it was at the mall theater, you know. And I got some things to say about it. I'm not gonna lie. And the first time of me watching it, I was high as hell. I'm not gonna lie. I was baked. I was zooted. I was off. I was off that shit. You know what I mean? And also, I didn't watch the first movie over, and that's been like 13 years, I think. I don't even know how long since the first one came out. And I'm not writing. I'm saying this without a script, just like one take, or not really one take. I'm pausing the recording, and I just want to talk about however long this video is. I'm not gonna lie, I like Avatar. It's a good movie. Avatar 2. Well, actually, let me get into Avatar 1 first before I get to Avatar 2. Avatar 1, that movie is amazing. I'm not gonna lie, that movie is really good. The introduction to the main character, Jake Sully, how he's a cripple, or yeah, his legs don't work, and how life on Earth isn't really that good. It's the future. Bengal, what was it? The tigers are coming back, but they were extinct, which is crazy. And he doesn't live a good life. He goes to the bar, gets in the fights, even though it's for a noble cause, trying to help some girl. He gets kicked out the bar, and then these two guys in like black, I guess, men in black, tells him that his brother's dead, and he takes him to the creamery. I think it's the creamery. I don't know. Where he gets cremated. Supposedly they're supposed to be twins, but to me, they did not look identical at all. Like I don't know. It did not. They did not look the same. But that brother, right? His brother died. His brother is a Marine. So, and then for what they're trying to do with the brother, they need the same gene makeup, right? So that's where the twin thing comes in. So they they I guess they just pick him up. They pick him up and tell him we need you for a job, and this could be a good pay grade or something like that. I don't know. And he's like, all like, I'm all aboard. I guess. I don't know why he said yeah, but I guess he's broke. He got no money, so he needs to make that go up somehow. You know what I mean? So this is one of the big things I like about the first movie, right? It's that the CGI at the time was so good. I don't know if that movie. I don't know how long the movie's when the movie came out. I know it came out in 2009, but I don't know what day or month. I'll probably pull up a picture. But the CGI was so good to me. Like when we watching it, I'm looking at it. It looks so real. Like the ships, it got grit, it got scratches, it looks like it's real. It looks like we developed it in our own time. Like this looks believable. You know what I mean? And so he wakes up on the ship, right? And like the cryo station, like the cryopods lined up. That's a cool scene. That's like visually pretty nice, right? He comes out and he's getting ready for re- entry. He's going into the atmosphere of Pandora. We get to see Pandora, the big. It's a moon. Pandora is a moon. I'm pretty sure. And behind it is, I think, a gas giant. Which if you don't know what a gas giant is, look at Jupiter, look at Saturn, look at Neptune, and there's other moons around it. You know what I mean? Which is cool. Like when you first see it, it's like, wow, that's kind of awesome. You know what I mean? It gets you thinking about space because I bet you there's an actual planet like that out there. You know what I mean? So they're re-entering the planet, and they get on this big like what is it? I don't even know, like a big cargo jet looking thing, which looks really cool. It looks kind of like a condor, but like wider, or like you know what I mean, or like yeah, it looks like a condor from like Halo Wars. If anybody has played that, but it's just hella wide. It looks cool. It's like one of those. I don't know. It looks super. It's sleek. The design is nice. Whoever made it, good job. You know what I'm saying? I also love that they don't ignore it in the movies. In this one specifically, in the first one, they don't ignore the military stuff, which I like. I like military stuff. When a lot of these movies, they like to ignore the military and not like how I say like open them up. I don't know if that's the right word or word choices, but you can really feel like it's a military, like it's actually there, like they have character, they have their own unique stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes it cool. But when they land, right, you get this you see the setting. It's like a big excavation site, which what they're looking for makes sense, right? And you see these big trucks, like these big like oh my god, big Tonka trucks, right? Big ass excavating vehicles, big. They're huge. Like you would love this stuff. And like when they land, you get to see like the first like the mech, and it's like if I remember the first time I seen it, it was cool. Like way back, like I was like, damn, that looks awesome. I wish I could drive one of those, right? It's just like the creativeness of like thinking how technology could progress in the future and utilizing it in like a militaristic way, which gives character to the movie. Like how they use those mechs is obviously for war, but think of all the things they could do with it. And I think they show it in the second movie, maybe, but they have like these different things. But I'm not gonna get into that right now. So after seeing right the mech and like the big truck with the arrows in its wheel, we get introduced to the leader, the corporal, which is basically the antagonist of the movie. But like to be honest, the corporal to me, he wasn't like a bad villain. I don't know if people say he's a bad or good villain, but he's not bad. Like I like him. Like he's pretty fair. He does his job. I like it because he does his job. He doesn't do just needless evil stuff. He does what he does because that's his job. That's his role. You know what I'm saying? That's why I like it so much. He's not doing needlessly evil stuff. That's what I noticed. The humans are only doing what they need to do. Like they're not just going out their way just to go burn like native villages just because they want to. No, they're doing it for a reason, which I like. So the corporal gives a debriefing, right? A debriefing on basically what they need to do, what they're here for, and tells them straight up, hey, if you don't follow the rules, your ass finna die. It's that easy, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you better listen up. And then after that, we get introduced to Spellman. I don't really remember his name. I think it's Spellman. But they go. He mentions for the first time, right, that Jake Sully's brother. He was working with him in the Avatar training, which is our first sign to that. You know what I'm saying? I just looked up his name. His name is Norm. But Norm is trying to, you know, guide us through the little facility of the Avatar like lab. They try to show us around. But Jake is like narrating like a lot of the stuff. I forgot to mention that. But he's narrating a lot of stuff and he sees the Avatar for the first time. Right? He sees his avatar, which is like, wow, crazy. I think people in the theater was like, wow, crazy. They're growing like this is what the aliens look like. They look like cat people almost. like blue cat people, and it's like they're growing these guys in like test tubes, like big tubes, big vats, and we're supposed to control that. You know what I'm saying? Like, which is kind of crazy. Like that first thought, like, could we even do that in real life? It's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, could we? So after like seeing that, where we get introduced to this other character named Grace Augustine, which is like some world renowned like scientist. You know, she's the head of the Avatar program. You know, so she's like the head researcher, and she meets Jake Sully. He's like, "We got this guy. Like, who mans is this? Like, whose mans is this?" You know what I'm saying? And I like Jake because he's like, "Okay, okay, and like put me in, coach. Like, what's going on?" Like, he's that type of guy, which I kind of respect. That I'm like, that's cool. I'm trying to be like him, right? Like, you gotta be like him. Like, he's a good model. Like, he just doesn't care. So in the first movie, the main thing the humans are here for is that they're mining for this rock called what the hell? Unobtainium, which is for like what, for 15 kilos is like $20 million or something. That's why they're here. So and they're trying to stay there. So that in order for them to even mine like without disturbances, they have the avatar. So they're trying the avatar program so they can make peace with the locals, so they can just mine this stuff, right? But the locals are not having it. You know what I'm saying? The not V, which is what the species is called. That's what the natives is called. Is not letting them do that. You know what I mean? So Jake goes into his tube or this like machine and starts controlling the avatar. He's like, which is okay. So this scene, I like this scene because establishing that that his legs don't work, and makes this scene more like up. You know what I mean? Saying like it's more up. The feeling is up. He feels his toes. You see his toes move. He's like, wow. I bet you in his mind he was like, wow, crazy. Like, you could feel how he's feeling, right? So him trying to like learn like this new body, like it just like he likes it. You could tell he likes it. He's not used to it, but he likes it because it's better. It's already better than his old body. You know what I'm saying? But he's not to the point where he's like, "Ah, man, I'm trying to stay in this body." You know what I mean? So naturally, the scene he's just messing around. He's running, and he's like, and then you know what I'm saying? He gets stopped. Like so after all that stuff, blah blah blah. They go on a mission to collect data about the forest, and this is our first hint towards the forest itself, like the planet itself, that it's all connected in some way. I don't know if they know it at the time, but it's connected. They see the energy or electrical signals going coursing through the trees or something. That's what it stands for. And now Jake's dumbass decides to just wander off and do some dumb shit, and he gets seen by this big ass rhino looking thing. Looks kind of like a mix of a hammerhead and a rhino. And he's like trying to not get his ass killed, and he runs away because his big jaguar looking thing is behind him. So there's a chase scene and all that crap, and he gets separated from the main group. So while he's fending for his life, he meets the other main character, which is Natiri, the native, right? The native. So Sully decides to follow her because he does not know what he's doing, right? He is new to the environment. He does not want to die. So he starts to follow her. And Natiri doesn't like that. And he's about to, I think, kill him or just tell, not kill him, but just tell him to just back off. But, but these seed things come down. I don't know. At the time, I didn't know they were seeds. To be honest, I thought they were just jellyfish. Straight up jellyfish that just don't need water. All these weird jellyfish looking things come around him and just blow away. And and the theory says that these are seeds of the sacred tree. Awa, right? It's Awa right there. Awa is basically like their god, right? So Natiri decides just to bring him along and introduces him to the tribe, right? And the tribe is hella skeptical. They know what they are. You know, they know the difference between an avatar and them. It's because the fingers. They have 5 fingers, and I think Nat V have 3 fingers. They have 3 fingers. So Natiri fights for his life, right? She makes the argument that she seen a sign from Awa. Her father and mother, which is like the two like leaders, right? They're skeptical, but they're like, okay, teach this guy our ways, right? So Natiri did not know that she was gonna be the one to teach him, but it doesn't really matter. So Natiri is teaching Jake their ways, right? Jake tells them that he's able to get into like make them able to trust them, right? So the humans say this, all right, Jake, you either get them to move out from the tree, which the reason for that is because there's a huge you whatever they're looking for, like unobtomium or something. You know, I don't even know. Unotobium, I don't know. There's a huge deposit of it under that tree. So it's Jake. So they tell Jake, you either do this, you get them to move out, or we get them to move out. And Jake's like, okay. Jake is still on the side of the humans at the time. You know what I mean? So after learning this, the science team moves to the Hallelujah Mountains, which is basically these floating like mountains, something to do with like magnetic fields of like the base of the mountains that are floating. You know, like you can't a north and a north magnet repel. So Jake is learning the way of the not be, learning that everything is connected on the planet through energy, all that stuff. You know what I mean? Jake and Natiri are basically bonding, and they're getting to know each other. Like they're starting to like each other more. You know what I mean? Grace then tells Jake what happened at the school. I didn't mention this before, but Grace would teach the natives English and like human stuff. They try to get them to like her. Grace Grace's avatar is actually very popular in the Na'vi village. So what had happened was Natiri's sister was killed by human soldiers because they set fire to a bulldozer. The Marines were hunting her. They killed her. Natiri saw this, and she got hella mad. Hella mad. And that trust between Grace and the not be people, was kind of tarnished a little bit, a little messed up. But it's shown that, like she's still welcome back at the village. So Jake is able to do a kill in the Na'vi way, and Natiri says that you're ready. And basically, what he has to do now is tame some like pterodactyl looking thing. I don't even know what they call it. I'll probably put the name up, but I don't know. So he gets his mount and he's like, "Yes, sir. This is easy. This is easy. Like easier than riding a horse." He had trouble riding some like alien horse earlier. You know, and I think at that point he's like one of them now. basically. So, in order to actually become an obviously you have to connect to the spirit tree, which is like these big like this tree that has like nervous like it's so weird. It's like nerves coming from the tree, like big tentacle looking things, and they're able to connect it with their like connector. I don't even know how to work it. It's like a USB going to it. You know, a USB going into like its port. Basically, they're able to connect to like almost every animal on the planet that has like one of those like connectors. So if people remember when he goes to the spirit tree with Natiri, they know what's going on. They get a little freaky. You get freaky, you know what I mean? They start doing it in like the area. So after that, he goes to sleep and he wakes up back in the med bay or whatever. But when he gets back into his body, that tree got destroyed like by the humans. It's bulldozed it, you know. Jake tries to stop them, but it doesn't really matter. Like they still take down the tree. So Jake tries to go tell the Natiri's people that attacking them will not work. They're gonna die. But he's interrupted because the humans recognized his body and shut him out. So at this point, Sully is, you know, he's on the not V's side. So the Marines, right, the humans, they send the green light to go blow up the home tree, which is where all the natives live at. And Jake reveals that he was working for the humans the whole time, like working against the natives. And then Tyria gets sad, and yeah, and he fails to evacuate them. The Nazis decides to fight the force that's coming to blow him up, right? I like this scene because it's like one of the other military things they do in this movie, right? They pull up in their formation with the falcon looking things and this vulture looking thing. Like if you know Halo and you know Halo Wars, this vulture, right? So they have Grace and Jake's avatars all strung up, and the natives are fighting them. Clearly, it's not working. So so the military starts with the gas. They start with something else. They go with something else, and they blow up the home tree, right? And that whole set piece, like the home tree going down and like burning, is crazy. They did a good job. Like you can feel like it's. You look at it for the first time, like for the first time, you're like, oh, damn, that shit is crazy. So Jake is able to escape with Grace, and is able to meet up with the Navi, right? But before that, Jake and all the scientist people get locked up, and they have to escape. And Grace gets shot in the process. And now she's bleeding, and now they're in the Hallelujah Mountains, bringing the avatars, or I think the things that they go into to become avatars. So when Jake goes back to try to get the not V people rallied, what he does is he tames the Dok Dok Dao or whatever, this big like pterodactyl thing. I guess it's like the alpha pterodactyl. It's pretty cool. It's like twice as big as a normal one, right? And whoever tames it becomes the leader, right? It's like it's supposed to whoever tames it is supposed to like reunite the tribes, right? So he pulls up and the guy who's supposed to become leader gives up his leadership to Jake. And now Jake rallies the tribes and gets ready to go fight, you know, the humans. But before they like, go fight the humans, Grace is still dying. So she Jake slowly tells the Navi, like, we need to save her. So this is where it's revealed that the planet itself is kind of like a character of its own. Where I mean is, like, the planet is kind of like, it's not like alive in a way, but it is. All the connections they're able to do, it's like, I'm gonna go into some psychology shit. The planet is like, how I say, a big nervous system, right? What they're doing in this process is transferring the brain, the mind, the consciousnesses of Grace from human to her avatar self, right? Which means that the planet is connected in like a, not a hive mind, but like you feel it, you know what I'm saying? It's cognitive, right? It's cognitive, right? Once someone connects to the planet or like to an animal, they're sharing, like they feel each other, like they're connected to each other, right? So for some reason, somehow, the flora and the fauna are all connected. They all support in this big scheme of like the food chain and all that. It supports, like, how Native Americans of our time like really support, like, the wilderness. They're not like destroying everything. Like, I don't know, I'm not a native, but they respect they respect nature, right? And now I'm going back to the psychology thing, or not. I don't even think it's psychology, but this cognitive approach, like this cognitive. Oh my god, I can't even say cognitive. But through this scene, I'm just thinking, like, so does that mean that this planet is able to just, like, if you die, right, connected to a tree, right, or you die through the soil, because and let the roots take you, you become one with the planet, right? And that's probably why when you connect to the soul tree, you're able to see relatives and all that. Which, if you didn't know, if you connect to the soul tree, you can see like your kids or anything like that, which is kind of crazy to me. You know what I mean? But anyway, they try to save Grace by transferring her mind to the Avatar, but it fails because Grace's body has already died. So both sides are preparing for battle, right? The military side looks really cool. It's like, to be honest, I would be on the military side. I'm sorry, but I don't care about these Navi. All right, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna lie. But the battle ensues, and the humans look like they're winning, but then something happens. It was on the side of Jake, and all the animals come in and destroy a lot of the human stuff, you know. And they final battle with the corporal or colonel or whatever. The corporal dies, and Jake's actual body is like dying, like not dying, but like he almost dies to the air. So the humans fail, and now they're getting kicked off the planet. And now at the end of the movie, they're able to successfully transfer Jake's mind to the Avatar's body. So now Jake's actual body is now Husk, and his real body is now the Avatar. Right? That's Avatar, right? That's Avatar in a nutshell. I could have probably gone shorter, but I just had to explain some stuff to me. Right? I'm probably gonna go faster with the new one. I like the first one a lot, and I would give that shit a good like 10 or 9, 10. Like that shit is good. I love that.